My face currently feels like I've been run through by Tom Stewart.
Puts it to the top of the square. Oh, beautiful little fist in there by Dale. Crucial centimetre moments.
He definitely has a bit of the Belcho spirit. As I have a bit of the Belcho spirit.
Hello everyone and welcome to the podcast that may seek a trade or may re-sign at the end of this year. There's two options and a secret third option, which is retiring in general.
Yeah, I'm going to delist myself, I think.
Yeah.
I think I will.
There was an AFLW player who did that to get away from her ex who was on the same team last year. Couldn't get a trade, so delisted herself at the end of the season and got picked up in the draft.
Hey, at least she got picked up.
Who
was it? The Sydney player who delisted himself after a grand final and never got picked up. Can't remember his name.
Oh, I feel like I do remember that.
I'll have to look it up
in
in the background.
There's been a couple. The best one ever was Gold Coast delisting Hugh Greenwood and then North being like, yoink, I'll take that, thanks. Last weekend was alright. I think the summary I put before the weekend that it at least looked like they would be close games, if not good games, was pretty true.
I would like to call it a mostly watchable round of football.
Yeah, we've had 2 weeks in a row where there's been games that you can watch without going, wow, what am I doing with my life? A few that had that aspect, but not all.
It was Xavier Richards, by the way, played in the 2016 loss for Sydney. After failing to agree to terms of a new contract, he requested a trade. They weren't able to find anyone. He delisted himself, nominated for the draft, and was not selected by any club. So from going to play in a grand final in 2016 to not being on a list, 2 months later? Brutal.
That is really funny.
Brutal.
As we sit here, I'm sure most of you will be listening to this tomorrow morning, but as we sit here, the Stephen May Tribunal is still deliberating, despite the fact that it started 3 hours ago.
Over an hour of deliberation.
He is giving evidence, or did give evidence himself, despite apparently being concussed. And somehow, despite being concussed and being Stephen May, still gave more convincing evidence than Tristan Xerri last week, who instead of saying, I won't get picked if I don't belt blokes, said, I thought I was going to get the ball. Which is what you should say if you're trying to defend yourself at the tribunal. But anyway, so no update on that.
No schnitz for Zeta?
Zeta has said, my fucking God, they're back.
Oh,
so
okay.
We may give an update that you will already know about tomorrow.
That's true.
Around the grounds, we had GWS Essendon, which was an unwatchable mess of a game until GWS went, wait, hang on, it's Essendon.
Yeah, Essendon really brought them down to their level.
It was 0-8 to 7-0 at one point at the start of the game.
Yeah, you had a absolute hissy fit.
I was very mad at Toby Green for ruining the
BOOB score.
I was mad about that. The Bulldogs, as they tend to do, lost a very close game to a team in the 8. They've done that every time they've played a team in the 8, except for the Giants, who they beat. They've not been blown off the park. They just keep losing close ones.
I don't think the margin was ever more than 20 points, but I think the Bulldogs led for a minute at the start of the game.
They kept coming back. I mean, the 10-point margin also is a bit unfair because Will Ashcroft kicked that goal after the sirens. It was 4 points until the siren went. Hawks brushed Port away. I think everyone kind of saw that coming. The one earlier this year was the surprise. Sydney and North, every Sydney fan I saw online said, let's never speak of that game ever again, while Grundy just had a party in the middle of the ground.
Shame he couldn't beat the record. That would have been fun.
Yeah, he was on track for a bit and
then it just stopped.
Slowed down. I mean, why would you risk, you give him a bit of a rest at the end there. Carlton continued their close game dominance over Melbourne.
4 in a row.
I saw Emlyn Priest tweeted at the end of the game, wasn't watching it, but was the SpongeBob, can I get a 1 goal loss to Essendon, less than a goal loss? Daring are we? And I was like, it wasn't 1 goal. It was a little bit more. Richmond pumped West Coast after West Coast looking like the better team in the first half.
It looked like an okay game until West Coast kind of just died, which sucks.
Harley Reid, still really good. Really good.
You won't find a hater on this podcast.
Geelong, arm's length, St Kilda, very typical late end of the year Geelong home game against the bottom of the ladder side. Very boring game of football.
Don't even watch, unless you're a Geelong fan, don't even watch Geelong games in the last 5 rounds.
Unless the Sydney game. I reckon
the Sydney game is probably the only watchable one, but the rest, just skip them.
Brisbane Carlton was good.
Brisbane Carlton?
Brisbane Carlton, that was a couple weeks ago. That was good until half time. Freo had a massive comeback against Collingwood. I had to watch that on my phone at the shops because I went, Collingwood's out 24 points in the last quarter at the MCG. That's probably game over.
Now,
it wasn't.
That is an example of a close game that is a good game. It was
And
close the whole way through.
It was not high scoring.
And it was not a skill error laden,
It was just
slot
a really
fest.
good
That
game
was
of
a
football.
good game.
Both teams had patches where they played their game style, which I think was the thing. Like Freo play fast, but it's controlled fast. Like theirs is getting it to a teammate who can run on, whereas Collingwood is just forward at all costs. And I feel like they both got a hang of that. Sarong and Dacos, probably the two best players in each team, both dominated. Both teams' rucks were really good. It was just an awesome game of footy. And then like the finish being successive points to take the lead was incredible too. Like the draw was from a point, and then Freo kicked a point to get in front. Good football. And then Adelaide.
The round ended.
Oh boy. Gold Coast, the first team in over 100 years to keep an opposition team scoreless to halftime one week, and then be scoreless themselves at halftime, or goalless the next week.
Yeah, it was a rough awakening for them.
No one's done it since 1917. And they continue to not win second halves, which is going to be a problem if finals.
And they've just lost Rioli for the home and away season. which
Rioli
is
and Miller,
huge.
who have been probably their best link from into the midfield from the back line and from the midfield to the forward line this year, are both out until finals.
It really does throw the rest of their matches up in the air.
They can't afford to drop any of the games where they're favourite from now on. I think that's
They should beat Richmond at People First.
Yep, I would think so.
You would expect them to beat Carlton at Marvel, but that may be trickier.
Carlton, GWS and Port are the ones where you go...
GWS. I'm penciling in GWS for the win there. They can win anywhere.
They need to beat really all three of those if they don't beat Brisbane this week, because that bottom half is really shaping up tight. Hawthorn, GWS and Bulldogs will all fight for that last, those last three spots. So it would be very Gold Coast for them to miss out, and a bit disappointing from the narrative they've built this year.
I understand that you're the biggest Gold Coast hater in the world. You're probably one of two people who have an opinion on the Gold Coast. I was very pro them making the finals, but now that I think about it, those comments made by Dimmer, where he said we have whatever percentage of our list here that will play in a grand final, would be funny if they didn't even play finals before that amount of the list was off.
It was funny, I was talking about it the other day, because we were talking about how we all make memes to send through things. And Lenny Phillips, who made that, said that he made it in paint, and I was like, well, good news, Lenny. The meme that you made in paint is commonly referenced in this household, the Gold Coast Survivor. Because he could be right. Like, they look like a really good team
for sure.
now, and they have replaced less than that on the list. But
for now. But I think it's funnier, if they don't make a grand final, if they make finals and they play them and they don't make it, that's fine. But if they don't make finals at all, it's really funny.
It is really funny.
You could play that clip forever.
It would be. It would be really funny. It was concerning after how good they looked defending that lead against Collingwood. It was the fact that if they'd lost that game to Collingwood, it would have been Gold Coast of old, because they did lose the lead when Member kicked that goal. But the fact that they were able to take it back and get back out by more than a goal was really mature. Noah Anderson was enormous. But then
clutch player of all time.
Didn't carry much of the load this week. Rao was their only performer. And again, when you're that far down at half time, Adelaide did to Gold Coast what Gold Coast couldn't do to Collingwood, which was really put the pain on before half time so that it was an insurmountable margin.
Yeah. To be fair, was it only 3 more goals kicked?
Yeah, I mean, that's enough, isn't it?
I know, but still, it's not.
Anyway, let's move on to votes for the Scarlett Silvani Medal, which is for the best defender in the comp. We won't go the whole thing this time, but who is your one vote this week?
My votes are a little weird this week because I had 2 immediate standouts who slotted into my 5 and 4.
So I wonder if they'll be the same.
And then my 3 down could all probably be ones.
Okay, I understand.
So my one vote is going to Harry Edwards from West Coast.
Harry Edwards
Did they
was a
get
special
pumped?
mention for me.
Yes.
But he
was Harry
very good.
Edwards really good? Yes.
6 intercept marks again or something?
I've got his stats right
twelves?
here because I have done my job this week.
Hey.
He had 13 disposals, 9 of which were kicks, 10 marks, 6 of which were intercepts. He had 2 contested one-on-ones. He won them both. Plus 11 spoils for a 16.4 rating in a 60-point loss. He played really well.
Yep.
I think he's shaping up really nicely in that back line. I know he's been in and out over the past few years. This is my 3rd time giving him votes.
Stocks up, stocks down was on their tools last week.
Yeah.
So, I think he was really good. He was only a special mention for me, but he was very close to my one.
And I reckon all of the ones that you have that I don't, I will have considered for the one spot.
Yeah. My one was to a different Harry, which was to Harry Himmelberg.
He's in my special mentions. He got 7 coaches votes, but I'm not sure about that.
As a intercepting defender against Essendon feels odd, but he did have 23 disposals, 12.8 player rating. He won all 3 of his one-on-ones, had 3 rebound 50s, 3 score involvements, 2 were launches, 8 intercepts, 5 intercept marks. It was a good game, but 7 coaches votes?
Yeah,
crazy.
It does seem a lot.
I watched that game, pained, but watched that game. Didn't think he was the standout.
I wonder what the split was. Some game a 5 and a 2. That would be funny. I haven't looked at the votes, so I can't.
5 and a 2 would be funny. So who's your 2?
My 2 is Josh Worrell from the Adelaide Football Club.
That was my 3.
3? Yeah.
So blanket over the 1, 2, 3, like we said.
Yeah, I think that's about right. 25 disposals, 17 of them kicks, 409 metres gained, 6 rebounds, 11 marks, 11 intercepts. I think he had a contested one-on-one and win it.
I can check for you. He sure did. And had 5 score involvements as well.
Yeah, I think he straddles that line between rebounder and defensive option.
The way he and Keane can swap who does that role is such a strength of that backline. I feel like, and I've been talking about it after week, because we were onto them last year, that backline, as they were slowly putting it together. I've been, very rarely when I get to do an I told you so,
You gloat all the time.
do I do it?
You
Because
gloat all
normally
the time.
it's ones that I'll, like, if it's a North, like North early this year when I said I don't believe the resurgence. If I say I told you so, that just feels like I'm like, haha, North, you suck.
About a good one,
But when it's Adelaide, it's like, we called this 18 months ago when they were slowly putting this backline together. And the team over at 1%ers did their pre-season.
What's that? The 2 people that do a podcast about defenders noticed a defensive unit becoming good before everyone else did? That's crazy.
I made that joke when I was talking about it, but I was talking to 1%ers after he did his ones at the start of the year. I was saying about how bullish we were on Adelaide's backline, and he hadn't seen it yet, and he's an Adelaide fan, and I was like, no, I think they were slowly putting it together. And they really have now. And the fact they can swing Dan Curtin back there when they want to. And
yeah, he just goes anywhere. He's really good, apparently. Not out of nowhere. We always knew he was, but I feel like West Coast might regret a little bit not reaching for him.
But Reed is. And if they keep Reed...
No, I think their opportunity was to take both.
To trade up.
Yeah.
And their future first would have net them a good pick as well, because everyone knew what was going on. My 2 was to Blake Hardwick this week.
Surprise. He hasn't made my list of names, but I did see that he... No. Did he? He did get coaches' votes,
8 coaches' votes this week. 16.5 player rating. He had 27 disposals. 8 of those were intercepts. 8 marks, 4 intercepts. I feel like intercepting is hard in Tassie because the ball's all over the shop. So not just getting it as a contested ball is good. He only had the 1 spoil, which was in the one-on-one that he won. 1-1-1. He had 10 rebound 50s, which is huge.
Yeah.
11 defensive pressure acts, and a massive 840 metres gained. Blake Hardwick is good. We know that. When he plays backline, he looks his best. I get why they're swinging forward, but he's a really good backline.
It's hard when you have 5 good key defenders and you have to fit all into your team.
What we said last year when they bought in both Barris and Battle.
I feel like they only needed Battle.
They only needed 1, and it was Battle. Yeah, because he plays their game plan well. He's very fast. Barris has been good at times this year. I don't know. But the worst part is it's made Sicily lost.
Redundant.
Yeah, his role is missing. He's obviously, whatever that groin hit problem he had is affecting his kicking, and he doesn't get to play a one-on-one defence, so he's like in a weird spot.
Yeah.
So who was your 3?
My 3 is to my new boy, Matt Carroll.
Yeah,
from
he
the
was
Carlton
my
Football
top
Club.
special mention.
Yeah.
I put an asterisk next to him. I also went, if I'm throwing a net over 1, 2, 3, and I know you're giving Carroll votes, I'm happy to bring in someone who you might not be.
Yeah.
So that's how I justified it.
The only spoiler I gave you is that's the only one I had locked in. I don't think Carlton win that game without him.
I would agree with you.
He had a 19.5 rating, which was highest on the ground. 15 disposals, all of them were kicks. I think he went at 75%, which is not elite, but still good. 415 metres gained, 3 rebounds, 5 score involvements. Every one of his marks were intercepts, 10 intercept possessions, and 3 spoils. Genuinely breakout game.
Yep.
If Ashton Moyer hadn't kicked 4 goals, he would be the rising star.
He and Moyer showing exactly why Carlton had to play the kids the rest of the year.
Yep.
And they won, just to top it off.
Yeah.
So that is really cool. And then we'll talk about it probably later, but Doherty retiring to make room for them to keep doing that is actually, I think, a really cool gesture from him as well.
Oh, you'd hope so.
In a way. So,
yeah.
My 4 votes then is to teammate of, to Jacob Wiedering.
I thought you might go for Wiedering votes this week. I've got him in my special mentions.
Damn, okay.
I know. Rough, right?
That is crazy to me. He had, and I love how my 5 and 4 parallel each other with like a 1-up when we get to it, but he had 11 disposals, only 2 of those weren't intercepts, so 9 intercepts, 8 marks, 6 intercepts. He had 10 rebound 50s, won all 3 one-on-ones, and kept the insanely informed Melksham to 7 disposals and 1 goal. I think he had like 2 or 3 scoring goals.
And Melksham's usually a thorn in Carlton's side.
Yeah, he monstered Melksham and rebounded every second. All but one disposal he had was a rebound. And all bar 2 of them were intercepts. So he just stopped Melbourne's entries, which, again, it is Melbourne and they do love kicking it to a defender, but Melksham's been the guy that's been creating the play. So obviously Cozzy did some damage, but if Wiedering hadn't stopped Melksham, they probably don't win. So that was why he got my 4 votes.
My 4 votes goes to a GWS giant, who you're probably about to tell me actually played midfield, forward, wing, defence.
No. Is it Connor Iden?
It's Connor Iden.
Yeah, he's right at the top of my list of special mentions, right there. Connor Iden.
So he had a 21-point rating game, which is huge for a defender. 21 disposals, 367 metres gained, 5 rebounds, alongside 4 score involvements, 6 marks, 11 intercepts, won all 3 of his contested one-on-ones, and throw in 5 spoils to fill it out. Obviously, Essendon, but he played a killer game and has been good for weeks and weeks.
2 weeks in a row of Connor Iden votes.
Yeah.
I really like Connor Iden. I think he's and Dad talked about this the other day as well, I mentioned him, he was meant to be like a Geelong Academy catchment.
Interesting.
And much like West Coast with someone a couple of years ago, they didn't get the paperwork in time.
Oh.
And so he just got
That's a shame.
into the open draft, and there he went to GWS, and he's really good. So, my 5 votes, who might be your 5 votes, is Ryan Lester.
It's Froggy.
Yeah.
It's
I said, our man, the one and only, Ryan.
Have we done this
Mo,
a couple of weeks in a row?
Froggy Lester. He, again, so I said, Wiedering, 11 disposals, 9 intercepts. Lester, 11 disposals, 10 intercepts.
Yeah.
8 of them were contested. He had 5 marks, 4 intercepts. He won 2 one-on-ones. He had 2 score involvements, both were launches. He had 8 defensive half pressure acts and 8 spoils. 19.1 rating points and 5 coaches' votes. He repelled, especially in that second half, and Bulldogs' forward line is so dangerous. He stopped that ball from getting in there and allowed Andrews to play a lockdown role so well. He joked about it. It was his first ever post-game interview.
Yeah. It's funny.
Really good. Froggy, what a legend. Been playing on 1-year contracts for about 7 years. Premiership hero. Love him.
Yeah. Seriously, I don't really have, like, I know you hate Brisbane. You're like,
but I love Ryan Lester.
You're one of the 10 people that hate both
Gold Coast and Brisbane.
You're insane.
I don't even hate Queenslanders.
No, that's not what you said to me off air.
Just a few.
Yeah, he's probably my favourite player on their list.
Yeah, and with Payne missing, he's had to fill a really massive void, and he's just doing it. It's just good. It's cool. It's very cool.
Yeah. Also funny when we call him Mo.
Mo, yeah. That one really, after
I love that that's not his nickname.
After he became a best 22 guy, that really just left everyone else's vocabulary. He's just Froggy now. And I was like, yeah, I bet he is.
Yeah.
No way you're at a football club and your name's Lester. Come on. Anyway. Round highs this week. Mac Andrew, Jack Butley,
Jack Butley.
And Harry Edwards all had 11 spoils. Sicily, we mentioned him, had 12 intercepts.
Yeah.
Edwards, Redman, Wiedering, all 6 intercepts. Tom McDonald didn't lose a one-on-one in his 6 of 6. And Bailey Dale had 11 rebound 50s. He ran rampant. They lost, but he was really good.
Yep.
You just have to tag him if you've got someone who can play a forward tagging role. Yeah.
Yeah.
5 votes. Ryan Lester was pretty obvious, I think. There was one game played for the weekend, and I was like, it's probably him.
Yeah. You know, someone's probably in for votes when they're a key defender who is not Harris Andrews or Jacob Wiedering or Darcy Moore, and they're getting interviewed after the game.
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
You interview the guy with blood streaming down his face.
Stephen May, 3 games.
3 games?
Yeah.
Wow.
I thought it would be lowered to 2 after the AFL admitted that they believed his intention was not to bump. I thought it would be like a slightly lesser charge. But he didn't like to tackle, and that was the main thing.
I wanted to, as my stock's down for the week, say the tribunal again for like the 4th time.
Mm-hmm.
Why are we sending something that should so clearly just be 3 weeks to the tribunal? If they want to challenge that, they can take it to the tribunal after they get the deliberation. Unless it's a straight-up roundhouse jaw to the face, you don't have to refer it immediately.
Yeah, like, it's so obvious. Again, we said it a couple of weeks ago, there was one that was pretty obvious what it was going to be. Why did we go to the tribunal? This one's the same. That was such an obvious
Sherry, right?
3-week... Yeah, Sherry as well.
Yeah.
This was such an obvious 3-week charge that all they had to do was offer them the 3 weeks.
And yes, there are people arguing against the 3 weeks. What could he have done? Split seconds. Yes, I understand that. But that's what they argue when they take the charge to the tribunal. Mm-hmm. We would have got the deliberation on Sunday that he was suspended, and then we probably would have been at the tribunal Monday.
Yeah. I think it has to be one of the first things that Swan looks at when he comes in.
It's 8:30 over there.
Yeah, and it's Wednesday. Like, Carlton play tomorrow.
Yeah.
He got suspended for the Carlton game last week.
Yeah.
I think we need a system where the charges can be placed the next day after the game, no matter when they are. The match review officer has one job. Why isn't he putting the charges on the next day? The tribunal should be able to sit literally whenever. Like, it can be during other teams' games if those players aren't playing. It doesn't matter. We're not televising it. It's not whatever. Zeta can have his schnitz at whatever time of the week. It needs to be streamlined. Obviously, we know there's huge problems with it, but it has to be one of the main things he looks at, I think. I liked that they talked about the rucks. That's one of the main ones. Don't wait for them to get in position. If you know who the rucks are, throw the ball in or throw the ball up.
I think maybe eliminate the calling the ruckman, but if you see a third person go up, free kick against.
Yeah.
It was crazy. I watched a game from 2016, 2017 the other day, and I saw players doing the third man up, and I went, whoa, this is a blast from the past. It's only 10 years ago. It was insane to see.
I saw, someone saying about, the loss of a third man up rule means that we didn't get to see someone like Sam Davidson in that Bulldogs game, someone who is a tall winger, just coming through and belting that ball Bulldogs way.
Also, we lose the people who stupidly knock it through behind to get a free kick against.
Robbo. It's one of the funniest things I've ever seen. On that note, do you want to do stocks up, stocks down?
Oh, we can do stocks up, stocks down if you want.
What's your stocks up this week?
I mean, we already mentioned him, but I'm telling everyone to buy their stock now. Ashton Moyer kicked 4, but it wasn't just that he kicked 4, it was that he kicked 4 really beautiful kicks.
Yes.
He did miss his last shot for goal.
Shocker, but 4 really great kicks.
Can kick on both feet.
He's so
agile.
That's the word I was going to say, but it wasn't really what I was looking for. But his tank is enormous. He just kept running. Probably why that last kick was shocking.
Which is weird because his biggest knock in his first season last year was that he didn't have a tank, so he kept getting played as the sub.
Focus on the coaches,
Yeah, he seems to get better as the season goes, watching his VFL results. But he looks the real deal based on at least one game and his couple of performances as the sub. He's had one bad game, which I think was against Collingwood, where he barely got a touch. But, it's Collingwood.
Yeah,
Carlton, not a top team this year.
Thought he was great.
Yeah.
My stocks up was it's a hard one to explain, but I'm going to do my best.
Okay.
The last 5 minutes of that Freo-Collingwood game, that Freo did the Collingwood game plan on Collingwood. Probably the first time we've seen someone execute it as well as Collingwood did. But then we got to see that Collingwood have clearly been training the antithesis to it. So they stopped laying tackles anytime it looked like the ball was going to be hatched. But Freo was smart enough to stop hatching the ball every time that happened.
Yep.
And it was really cool seeing the evolution of what was a huge gripe for a lot of people over the last 3 years, in the sense that the umpires just don't pay holding the ball in those situations. But both teams found ways around it. And I really liked watching what is clearly two very smart coaches who've got their teams very well drilled doing that work.
I honestly thought Fremantle were the better of the two in that situation.
I agree. The way they...
I feel like as a player, the immediate tackle, you go, okay, they're going to hold the ball in. But when they let go, you panic. You wouldn't know what to do.
And Freo were immediately getting that handball 5-10 metres forward.
Times.
And then the next person would do the same thing.
They killed that. And yes, Collingwood had a shot right at the end.
Dacos got that ball out, so obviously he got the next kick again down the line. But when he got that first ball out on the wing, my brain went, I've seen this story. It's there was 35 seconds to go, I reckon, and he got on the back flank. And I went, I've seen this happen from Collingwood so many times that I was just sure they were going to win. 35 seconds to go, they're going to get it inside 50. They win that every time. But then there was a great spoil put on at centre-half forward, a Freo player put the body on the line. There was another scrimmage. Collingwood lobbed it in. Great mark taken
by the
full forward at full back, playing on the full back at full forward.
I think it would have been amusing if Darcy Moore takes that mark and kicks the goal to win the game. That would have been
crazy.
Insane. All I
wanted last week for ladder sakes, was for Freo and the Bulldogs to win. And unfortunately, the Bulldogs couldn't do it for us, but Freo did. So it brings that top 9 a little bit more compact. And Freo only pretty much the exact same position as they were last year at the same time of the year. Similar draw coming up. I reckon they're a lot better team this year. I think that Voss and Bolton have made them far more dynamic. Just those two. If Young can play full games now, sure, they should make it. But they did lose it from here last year after beating the top of the ladder team by 1 point at their home ground.
Give them their flowers.
But yes, well done, Freo. I've been on them all year. Was worried for a little bit at the start, but I've been on them. Stocks down?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Stocks eliminated.
Oh.
Not just stocks down. And we've gone on this before, from the start of the year.
Can't sell the stock because it's worthless. What is it?
Thursday night football. Oh. We've done it before, but I just want to go over the last couple of games. So this Thursday night, it was a 48-point win, and it was a top 8 team playing Essendon. The week before, 37-point win, top 8 team playing Carlton. The week before, 49-point win, top 8 team playing North. An outlier here, 50-point win, 2 bottom 8 teams playing, but Carlton was one of them. The week before that, 41-point win, Essendon were involved against a top 8 side. The week before, 72-point win against St Kilda, top 8 side involved. So of those 6 games, a top 8 team has played in 5 of them, and they have all been wins of 37 points or higher, and none of them looked close. You have to go back to round 13 for the last good Thursday night. Good was a 22-point win, Dogs and Hawthorn.
And that was a Hawks were arm's length to them all game, basically.
Yep. I think that the rolling fixture, they've fucked it up.
The whole point of the rolling fixture was this didn't happen. But my cynical view is the rolling fixture is actually why it's worse in the second half of the year now. Because in the first half of the year, the AFL learned that having Thursday night football every week means no one goes.
Yeah.
So they put the teams that rate the highest on TV, that have the lowest current attendances, as those games. So putting Essendon and Carlton, whose fans obviously aren't going at the moment because they suck, on Thursday nights when people already aren't going because Thursday night sucks, on TV on a Thursday night, means they get the high viewership numbers, means they get the better broadcast deal. That's the cynical view.
Of course.
But just put good games on a Thursday night. Or get rid of Thursday night football.
Have it
one
special
every 4
occasions.
or 5 weeks was great. Every week?
I wonder who's playing Thursday night football this week, Jack.
Would it be Carlton?
Oh, it's Carlton against the top 8 side.
That's crazy.
That's insane.
I can't believe it.
It's become a joke, and if you want to maximise people's enjoyment of the game, which is the main thing, next week we have Bulldogs GWS, which is a genuine rivalry on a Thursday night at Marvel. So you'll get 40,000 there, and then you'll get the viewership.
I think what we should be doing with Thursday night games isn't the cynical get the big club who sucks on TV that they're doing currently, and get games that you know aren't going to have huge turnouts between good teams. We've got a Q-Clash this weekend. For the first time ever, it's a really exciting Q-Clash. That'd be a great Thursday night game. The attendance isn't going to be great, but people will tune in because they're at home. It's Thursday night and a good game's on.
We've got a couple of okay ones look like they're coming up. But even something like we've got Adelaide Hawthorn next week.
If we're still on the fixture.
Yeah, you can say whatever you want.
What the fuck's going on Friday this week? Doubleheader Friday night is cool if you have one of the games in Perth, where it's 2 hours apart. It doesn't work if you have both the games on the same time zone and they start half an hour apart. No one's going to watch Essendon Bulldogs anyway.
You've got another one in round 23 as well.
What's the point of that? Imagine having a Friday night derby instead. Starting at 3/4 time in whatever the other game is.
Yeah, anyway. It's just... Why are they're only 30 minutes apart?
Yeah, because they're both starting on the East Coast. You can't start it too early or too late because it's a Friday night.
It means you get to choose between the absolute bangers on Sunday of Richmond versus Collingwood and St Kilda versus Melbourne.
Yay.
I guess I'd probably watch the latter.
Yeah. Stocks down.
Your stock's down.
My stock's down is... Jesus. The weird...
How do you even...
I don't even want to trade... I'm so sick of talking about trade news. But my stocks down is the last couple of weeks of trade news.
Yeah.
Melbourne wants Danaher to come out of retirement, even though he's probably not even remotely football conditioned.
Not even that.
And didn't want to live in Melbourne.
And he didn't want to live in Brisbane. He lived halfway between Brisbane and Sydney, didn't he?
Charlie Kerner, he lived at Tweed. Drove all the way to Brisbane for training and games.
Yeah, doesn't even own a TV.
Charlie Kerner wants to trade to Gold Coast, but also maybe Brisbane, Sydney or Geelong. What the fuck? Shut up. What are you talking about?
And then you get conflicting reports. People are like, apparently he wouldn't mind living on the Gold Coast. Like,
I did find someone's joke funny. They were like, Charlie Kerner, guy famously made fun of for not playing well in finals, wants to go to the one club who never plays finals. That makes sense.
Yeah, there you go.
But it's just like...
And as
this
mentioned,
is the time of year...
As mentioned at the top of the show, Harley Reid will either sign a contract or request a trade. Big news, guys.
Or a secret third thing.
Tom Morris's big tick.
Yeah, Jesus, anyway. We are in a period of the year where we've got 4 teams fighting for 3 spots in the 8. Those teams are all playing each other over the next few weeks. And people are too busy talking about if maybe Kerno will seek a trade at the end of the year. I don't give a fuck about that.
That's a later
at
problem.
all.
Yeah.
I'll care about that if he's going to go to like a Sydney or a Gold Coast next year, who might need a forward who's more dynamic. Right now, I don't care. Like, anyway, that has shit me to no end this week.
It's frustrating, especially because, and I guess we'll talk about it now, that Charlie Curnow rumour was announced an hour after Sam Doherty announced his retirement. So you've got this huge emotional story, a much beloved figure, not just at Carlton, across the entire AFL, announces a very emotional farewell, and we're talking about trade rumours. Yeah. Anyway,
Doherty, it's really hard to find a guy who plays for Carlton, who is, or any club, Carlton, Collingwood, Essendon, who is as universally beloved.
Probably Cooter before he decided he wanted to become mayor.
Yeah, who is as universally beloved as Doherty.
Yeah, I don't think there's many players that are as
at any
just
club,
universal.
let alone at one of the big Victorian clubs.
I saw someone was like, Scott Pendlebury, and I'm like, no.
Crazy that he's missed over 100 games now
through cancer
and
knee.
injury. Was the vice chair of the Players Association for a few years there. Is just one of the most highly regarded guys in footy. He has
It's got to be one of the lowest games and achievements to Hall of Fame ever.
Yeah, absolutely. He's great. And it's sad to see him go, but it
is depressing. You only had one All Australian in that patch where it was an elite halfback.
Yeah.
And you can really knock that down to Mick Malthouse taking them from finals to dead last.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's depressing to say the least. Would have loved to him to squeak to 200. I sold stock on him a few weeks ago.
I think the time's come.
Yeah.
Like, he's had patches where he's been good this year, but the bads outweighed it.
I think he had a great game immediately after I sold stock. So who listens to me?
The time's right. He knows it's right. I think the AFL's been saved a bit by him announcing it so that this Thursday night game is completely pointless.
Something? Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of those ones. He was part of the Go Home 5, wasn't he, back in the day?
Elliot Yeo's still kicking.
Well, yeah, he's still got 2 years left on that deal somehow.
Who else was in the Go Home 5?
He's now been ruled out for the rest of the year.
Yeah, I did see that.
I think Redden was one, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's done.
I don't remember the others. But Doc is a shame. Docklands, speaking of Doc, Docklands turns 25 this week.
No, it was Elliot Yeo, Jared Polek, done.
Yep.
Sam Doherty retiring. Billy Longer and Patrick Carnesis. Who?
Yeah. Docklands turns 25 this week.
Yes.
That's fun, I guess.
Yeah, I saw a thing on the AFL website. It was like top 10 moments at Marvel Stadium, and I went, I'm not clicking that.
I've been to Docklands 2 or 3 times, but my first memory was there in 2010. It was a big Bulldogs game. I think it was like Brad Johnson breaking the games record. And I was there with the whole Gubbo footy team. And
represent
Bulldogs
Governor Stirling Senior High School. 3
of the first 4 goals. And then I got a lot of shit given to me about Geelong's era being over. And Geelong kicked the next 15 in a row.
Yep.
Apparently, and I've heard this from Geelong fans now later, Robert Walls on the TV declared Geelong's era over also. So he really is the kiss of life. He's like the opposite. If Robert Walls says you're done, well, RIP. If Robert Walls said you were done, you were probably a really good chance.
Yeah, he picked West Coast to finish last.
That's one of the funniest. And then he was like, I just gave them the spark they needed.
That's the worst Robert Walls impression I've ever heard. He's
couldn't
not
do one. He was one of the best dressed coaches I've ever seen in the AFL. Him and Barassi.
I really liked Wallsy. Obviously, he had some terrible opinions, but I feel like they were more
it came
endearing.
from the heart.
They were endearing.
That's what I was saying. I can't remember what I was saying about it the other day. I was saying why I put Damien Barrett above a Sam McClure type, in the sense that I never feel like Damien Barrett's bad takes are out of click grabbing. I think they're honest bad takes.
I think the only one is Brand Petrarca.
Yeah.
That's his worst take.
Yeah. But I feel like they're never for the sakes of clickbait or in creating content. I feel like he just has really bad takes.
I also really like it. I know we're getting totally sidetracked. I love it when his what's his stupid column called?
The sliding doors.
Sliding doors. When it's like, if Brisbane good, then Adelaide bad, and then he goes, also totally unrelated subject. You can't. And if something.
No. My favorite is when it's if Collingwood good, then Collingwood good, and I'm like, yep.
The funny one is where it's like, if Collingwood good, then Fremantle bad, and then you scroll down to Fremantle. It's like, if Fremantle bad, then Collingwood good. Cool. You've saved yourself work this week, Damo.
Yeah. Look, I reckon he hates writing that article, and like the AFL website is like, Damo, you got it right. Everyone clicks on that article every Friday. I go straight from the Friday Footy Quiz. Actually, no. Friday Footy Quiz is second. It's like the chaser.
Yeah.
I read
shot chaser.
Yeah, I read the sliding doors and I go, what the fuck's going on here? And then I do the Footy Quiz and I go, I'm dumb.
Yeah. What was it? AFL Reddit. Yeah. They repost Gettable, but they summarise everything, so you don't have to sit through 15 minutes of Cal and Riley. They never do it for sliding doors. They make you click and find out the bad takes yourself.
Yeah. That's part of the fun of Friday morning, you know? God, yeah. I had something I was going to say just then. I forgot what it was.
Don't know.
Oh, well, it can't matter that much.
I went to Marvel Stadium twice, and I find it a quite accessible and easy to enjoy venue.
Like getting actually in and out of the stadium itself is a bit annoying, especially out after an event. But the inside is it's well laid out. It's designed for sport. It's purpose built for the AFL. So
it's not addition on addition.
It was just built that size for that purpose.
And you got to go through 18 tunnels, climb 6 ladders.
It's a great place to watch the football.
Knock on a secret door to get to the new stand at GMHBA.
I've heard there's really bad spots, but it's one of the best places I've ever been to watch the football. Perth's really good too, actually, but it's a prick to get to, Perth Stadium. There's no...
Yeah, it's annoying. It's just a bad spot, but you can't do much about it.
But there's nowhere else you could have put it that wasn't where
the train station should be underneath the stadium.
Oh, like one of those fancy airports.
Yeah. And you just stairs up and you're outside the entrance, not in the ground.
That'd be cool.
That would be better.
Yeah, because that weird snake you have to do to get to it's a nightmare.
After the game, when you're walking and they're playing some awful fucking Oz rock song, and you just have to stand there with all the sad West Coast fans.
Why? We've got to get Dad and Ackroyd stickers so we can get around that. One of the other problems with it is that the Camfield, if you've not been to Perth Stadium, I think more than half of our audience is from WA, but if you've not been to Perth Stadium, it's near, halfway between the city and where the casino is, which, unlike every other city, is also not in the city.
Yes.
It was one of the only patches of land the casino agreed to sell it to them for a lower price because it was closer to the casino. But there's only, if you go to Melbourne, there's pubs both sides of the MCG. In Adelaide, there's pubs you can go to near Adelaide Oval. Even at Marvel, there's a few pubs down on Docklands. In Perth, there is one pub. There is one really big pub. And
not big enough.
Is so full on footy or cricket days.
I've been into there twice, and I've walked immediately out because I'm not dealing with that.
It's really
loud,
funny
it's
going
noisy,
there
it's smelly.
On a non-footy day when there's all of that space in those tables for a normal pub's amount of customers. But yeah, the location of Perth Stadium, despite the fact that it was really the only place that could have been built at the time, sucks. And that is the one big downfall of the stadium, I think. Outside of that, it's a really good stadium. It's far better than Subi, which was definitely falling apart, but was surrounded by pubs and had 2 different train stations you could go to get there.
Surrounded by pubs.
I feel like that's an aspect that footy stadiums should have.
Yeah, if you're alcoholic.
No, you can get food at a pub. You don't have to drink beer at a pub.
That's true. I do like pub food.
Yeah.
I did a bit this week.
Yeah.
I did some very cursory research about the very well discussed father-son rule.
Yes,
excellent. You and I...
We've been talking about father-sons a bit this week.
Both think is something that football should have, the father-son rule.
It's one of the... One unique, romantic rules in football, and I think it's great.
How do you fix it? Just get rid of the discount.
Yep.
That's all you need to do.
The only other tweak you could make, and I don't really care about this one, is that if it's a first round pick, you have to have a first round pick to put towards it.
I think that's fair.
That's it. So you make it that you have to match the entire bid instead of a discount. And if you can't match the entire bid, we just do the deficit like we've got currently.
Yeah.
So it goes into next year. But if you don't have a first round pick, you can't match a first round pick. And clubs trade out their first round pick specifically for that reason. And that's where it's dodgy, right? Like if you remove the ability to do that and they have to have at least one, you can trade down, but it has to be in the first round. Do that for
100%.
academy and father-son. It solves so many of the problems we have currently.
Either that or the discount, you fix it, and it's not just get rid of it altogether. Because can you imagine how disappointing it would be if Sam Darcy wasn't playing for...
Yeah, and like Libba is another one.
Yeah,
like,
and I'm going to get to Libba because I went through all of the current father-sons in the system.
Did you find the guy that I was calling Riley Bice all earlier this year in the father-sons? Because he didn't play money games, which was Bailey Rice.
Bailey Rice did not. I think he did play 2 games for St Kilda.
He played a couple of games, yeah.
He nominated St Kilda.
He wore their purple kit.
And he was, I believe, their last father-son.
He was, yes.
They do not have one currently. They are
Bad
one of 3 teams
Bad come at St Kilda.
without one. Jesus Christ.
Sorry, you're actually making a salient point, and I'll let you get back on with that.
St Kilda don't have a father-son at the moment.
Yeah.
Gold Coast and GWS don't,
But they've
for
got
understandable
academy picks, and
reasons.
that's what they've got them for.
Every other team has at least one father-son on their list.
On their list, yep.
Could you guess which team has the most currently?
Ooh, I would have guessed the Bulldogs or Brisbane.
Bulldogs are second.
Bulldogs have 3, Brisbane have 3?
No. Bulldogs have 4.
Bulldogs have 4.
Brisbane have 3 alongside Carlton, Collingwood, Hawthorn, Melbourne and Port. There is one team with more than the Bulldogs.
One team has 5.
And they are
Essendon.
the worst team in the
Essendon?
league. No.
No.
It's North Melbourne.
Oh.
North Melbourne currently have 5 father-sons
They've
on
got
their
Scott.
list. Yep. They
Harvey,
have...
Archer.
Yes.
Who else?
Luke McDonald.
Oh, McDonald, father-son.
And they have another one who's I've forgotten off the top of my head. I didn't write them down. But they have 5.
I didn't know McDonald. I would have had them at 3.
So they've got 5. And they are the worst team in the comp. And they have been for...
A long time. They're
this entire decade.
They appear to be destined for another bottom 2 finish.
So that's one thing that shows immediately that father-sons don't fix you. They've brought 3 in a similar way to Brisbane and Collingwood. Oh, in a similar way to Brisbane over a short period. Yeah. And it has not changed them.
It's like we were saying... Sorry, if you want to continue, if you've got more on that same thing.
I've got way more.
I was going to say, it's like we were
saying
saying about, like, there was a big period of time in between, like, Ablett, Hawkins, the Cloaks.
I'm gonna get to them.
And now, where a lot of teams just had a slew of not very good father-sons and no one cared. It's only because we've seen 2 Dacosses and 2 Ashcrofts in such short span.
Not even that short.
But, like, short enough. Well, second Dacos and the 2 Ashcrofts in such short span.
Yeah.
And Fletcher, I guess, is another one.
Fletcher's the problem.
Fletcher's sick. The third, he's really the third Ashcroft. Look at him, like the hair, everything. But yeah, it's only because they were in such a short span that I think it's been highlighted so hard.
Yes. And you could throw Sam Darcy into that as well.
Absolutely.
But it hasn't changed.
The Bulldogs might not have made the finals this year.
So I think there are 2 teams and 3. I think there are 3 teams that have effectively benefited from this rule the longest. So I think Collingwood have won.
Yep. And they have avoided a bottom out with Nick Dacos, really.
Yeah, essentially. But obviously they had Cloak Darcy Moore, who was, I think, 20... I wrote it down somewhere. 2014, I think Darcy Moore was drafted.
The rule change, wasn't he? So they didn't have to bid match on.
So Darcy Moore was drafted in 2014 and they didn't win a flag for 8 years. Yep. So when they won that flag, they had 3 father-sons on the list and they delisted 2. 2 really shit ones. Callum and Tyler Brown were not good. One of them went on to play like a game for Adelaide. But of 5 picks...
No offence, Callum and Tyler Brown, if you're listening. You're better than us.
If you are listening, you're way better than us and,
But in the merits of a father-son conversation...
You're terrible. So they had 3 drafted 2014, 16 and 21 that led to that 2022 flag.
Yes.
2023.
22 was Geelong, 3 then 4. Brisbane.
Anyway, 2023 flag. So 9 years since they drafted Darcy Moore. They benefited, I think.
Yeah, clearly.
Brisbane are currently reaping, but we'll have to see the long term.
Yep.
Because I don't know. The Bulldogs definitely are possibly
they're
the biggest winners.
The Bulldogs have 5 of the best players, probably 5 of the top 20 or 30 players in the AFL, and 3 of them are father-sons.
So, in their last flag, they had 3 father-sons. They had Libba, obviously. Zane Cordy played, and so did Lockie Hunter. So they had 3 when they won that flag.
Shout out Cordy family.
And they have slowly been collecting again. So Riley West, when he was drafted, I don't think anyone rated him highly, and he's turned himself into a very good player.
Riley West is sick.
Which is the opposite of a Nick Dacos. I don't think we can argue that Riley West is a problem.
Wouldn't have been, even if we had the pick matching everything, he still would have been like a 3rd, 4th round pick.
Sam Darcy is obviously on the end of he was the best player in the draft, probably. Should have been pick 1. Croft, not sure about. Jury's out.
Yeah,
he went at pick 15, I think he was bid at. But they currently have 4 on the list.
And then Libba, old system, wasn't a pick match then anyway.
If they were able to stick those top 8 wins, we could probably be talking about how the Dogs are going to benefit again, but they haven't been doing it. And I think the other biggest one is Geelong. Yes. They currently only have 1 on their list, but when I went back and looked at Gary Ablett, Jed Hughes, Tom Hawkins, Nathan Ablett, Mark Blake, Matthew Scarlett.
That first grand final was Scarlett, Ablett.
Yeah.
Then you had all of Ablett, Scarlett, Hawkins, Blake.
Yeah.
And then the last one, Hawkins and Buse. Buse again was going to be a 3rd, 4th round pick.
Yeah.
Didn't really matter.
I'm not concerned about the Buse or the Blakes of
and
the world.
Even Scarlett's a 50-50 one because he came on late. But like Ablett and Hawkins both would have been top 2 picks in their year.
It's just the really high profile ones.
Yeah.
And that's why if you eliminate that point system, they would have paid exactly what they had to for Nick Dacos and no one would be screaming about it.
Yeah, I think, and it kind of comes down to the argument of with the academy picks, right, where the clubs say, well, what reason would we have to develop those players if we don't get to keep them?
Yeah.
And people have thrown out the idea of the AFL running the academy, but part of the pitch they can give to those players is you won't have to leave the state.
List. Yeah.
Like you are from New South Wales, you will at least get drafted to a team in your state. That's part of the pitch, right? And those players, if not given that pitch, might play rugby or cricket instead. Yep. And that's why the clubs have that bit of an advantage. So I think just making the bids match rather than a discount fixes a lot of that problem as well. Like I'm happy for the academies to develop those players because what if like the AFL didn't have Heaney or like these players we've developed from those academies who are awesome? Like we just wouldn't have them playing, and that would suck.
Yeah,
it's better that we have them, but it's just better if they pay for them.
It also means that those teams in areas like Gold Coast and GWS don't have to worry about those players leaving because they are from there. They're happy to be there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you'll see them develop a key forward in Walter, who they don't have to worry about leaving to Melbourne.
Yeah, and they can keep him on the list for a bit and develop him while. Yeah, absolutely.
My other question was, can you name both of Adelaide's father-sons?
No.
Yeah, didn't think so.
Are they actual father-sons or are they sample father-sons?
That's a good question, actually.
There was another one I was going to... Oh, the Funny Academy odd one out at the moment.
They have Tyler Welsh.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I didn't know
And
that.
they have McElhenney as a father-son.
He is, isn't he? We talked about that when we gave him votes in like his 3rd game.
I wanted to keep going. I want to make you do all the teams. But do you know that Jackson Mead's a father-son?
I did not know that Jackson Mead was a father-son.
But even looking at this list, and you look at Geelong, and I've talked about how much they've benefited. Oscar Brownless, Sam Simpson, who, to be fair, injuries
his
cruel.
Brain didn't get.
He could have played in a grand final, to be honest.
He did play in a grand final. He got knocked out.
There was another one.
Not a winning one.
I don't even know who Adam Donahue is, but they drafted him the year after Tom Hawkins with the father-son rule. There's another one off the top of my head who I've forgotten. Oscar Riccardi.
Yeah, and they've got a few more coming through who might just be like that again.
Yeah.
Brownless was a weird one though because he was
Didn't
really
he win
good.
a VFL
he
BNF
was
or
third in the
something?
best and fairest. The same year Darcy Fort was second, and I can't remember who was first. And all 3 were just gone the next year. And I was like, I guess that's how you colour a list. But
also, I keep forgetting Zane Cordy's still on the list.
Zane Cordy's still on the list, not the Bulldogs list.
No.
A
couple of father-sons who won flags with
other clubs. Kennedy, Mitchell.
Yeah.
Ace Cordy's not on the list. I was going to say, the odd one out is Jeff White's son, who's really funny because he is a father-son for Melbourne, obviously, if he nominates. However, he is currently a part of the Gold Coast Next Generation Academy. So if he doesn't want to leave Queensland, he can just go, no, I'll just play for the Gold Coast. But can you, like, there's a thing there where, like, it depends on what kind of person you are. But if he wants, like, unconditional love from his team's fans immediately, you go to Melbourne, right? Like Jeff White was such a beloved figure of that club, and they love a father-son down there at the D's. I think he would hugely benefit from that immediately.
Holy shit, Nick Davis was a father-son to
He
Collingwood.
was to Collingwood, yes. Speaking of Nick Davis,
Shout out Nick Davis.
For replying to my joke earlier today. I did think that was funny that someone got him the match ball back to him. But yeah, as I said in that comment, if I'd ever done anything that cool in my life, anytime a chance came up, I'd be like, remember when I did that thing that was like everyone else talks about that was fucking sick? Non-stop. I get it. No. When the AFL pushes it all the time, I'm like, leave it alone. But when he does it, I'm like, you get your bag, King.
I like watching the Miracle on Grass.
Like when he was in the commentary box for the Premiership reunion. I don't know if you saw that photo. And he just posted a photo of them doing the lap and he just wrote, "You're welcome." That's good. That's really good stuff. But I do attribute that quarter to Dad. And I'm sure he's listening, but...
Does he listen to this podcast?
Yeah, occasionally.
Shout out.
Where there was a football... I can't remember what it was called. There was like a football newspaper that came out every week, and we used to pick it up every Thursday afternoon. And there was a quiz at the back, and I'd always read it out to Dad to see what his questions were, because it was normally like 80s, 90s stuff, and Dad was like obviously drilled on that. But there was always one at the end that was like just an opinion question, and it was like, if you could have one player to kick for your life in the last quarter of a game, who would it be? And Dad said Nick Davis, and it was that same year that happened. And it's just eternally his fault. I said Mark Williams, I think at the time, for Hawthorn, who was a really reliable shot on goal, but he didn't single-handedly beat Geelong in any games that I remember. No. So...
I'm picking Finbar Maley.
Give us the shotgun. Finbar. You do not want to live. I get it. All right, yeah. I see the joke there. I'm picking Dangerfield from inside
Subtle.
30. It's one of the... Dangerfield 45 metres out, I'm like safe as... almost any angle, I'm like safe as houses. As soon as you get him 30 metres or closer, it just falls apart. Crazy. Strange man.
Well, that was my rambling about father-sons.
You know what? It is topical.
I kind of scripted it and then I went, fuck it, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, off the cuff. I feel like we've done that a bit in the last few weeks.
Yeah. I just feel like it's one of those few things that is fun. Like
football, my take on it is football is about romance. Football as a sport is a romantic notion. Like you watch it in the hope that your team will... Like we don't play it like other sports where there's intra-season trophies, there's bigger trophies you can win outside of the game. Finishing top means nothing to most people. You play it for the hope that there's like... I don't
celebrate no McClellan trophy.
Your club wins that flag. And it's so rare.
Yeah.
And it's just belief. Following football is belief. It's a game of margins in ways that so many other sports fucking aren't. Like there's so many things that where 5% difference can ruin your game. Like we see it now where like you'll see Richmond upset a really good team or West Coast. And it's just because one team has to be 5% on and one team has to be 5% off, even between good and awful teams.
I think that's one of the hard things about getting new people into it, because they go, okay, Richmond's bad. And then Richmond will beat Sydney last year or whatever.
Like, what's going on? Like football is a game of like just believing in what it can be. And father-sons and stuff like that is part of that. Like you can't take it away because it takes away part of the fabric of what makes people love their club.
Yeah.
I feel like people in other sports will be like there's a lot of jumper culture where people will support a player, like they'll just have a favourite player. Football, that's just not a thing.
This is not true. I knew someone who was a Ben Cousins super fan.
That's crazy. It's less of a thing.
Watching them wear a half-cut, half Richmond, half West Coast with the number on the back, insane.
There's obviously a whole other discussion to be had about booing.
They hate it.
But like players who play for one club and go to another who get booed in their first game back at that club, that's just part of the theatre of football.
Yeah.
There's obviously players where there's different circumstances. But like when I see people getting annoyed about the player getting booed now at their club, I'm like, that's just... For the first year, that's just part of the game.
First year is fine.
That's it. After that, it's a bit weird.
Yeah.
When Adelaide booed Dangerfield early this year, I was like, lads, it's been 10 years. That's a long time.
West Coast were booing Chris Judd until he retired.
That's very odd, right?
Yeah.
West Coast do love a boo. It is one of their favourite pastimes. But yeah,
I like when they go from boo into ball.
yeah. I was saying boo all. I just think there's so many things about football that make it such a weird sport. And father-sons is one of them, and I'd love to see it stay. I just think we need to equalise it, and that's all. And we know how to do it.
I think Graham Wright is sensible. I think
Greg Swan?
That's what I meant. He's on my brain, sorry.
Yeah.
Greg Swan is sensible when it comes to that. So
yeah, I think as we said last week, getting in two guys from Clubland who've been dealing with it, especially two people who are from...
Clubland sounds like a theme park.
Clubland.
I kind of want to go.
I think two people who are from Sydney and Brisbane are really unique people to bring in, who had origins in the VFL. Like, I think it's a really cool way to bring in people who are fresh and outside but have enough experience with the history of the AFL to know what to preserve. And I hope they do a good job. But, we'll see come March next year what changes will happen leading into the next season.
Probably something horrible.
I'm sure.
It always happens.
Yeah.
Then I have to explain to my family what this new rule is and why it changed. And
yeah.
they don't understand it.
Yeah. God, imagine if they do last touch out there. Fans will not comprehend it. They can't deal with insufficient intent.
Yeah.
Even when it's really obvious.
They're like, someone spoils it out in a contest.
But it's bounced first, and they're like, why? Why is that deliberate? It's like, well, because the ball bounced and he just punched it 50 metres over the boundary line when he could have not done that. He could have done other things. Anyway. I don't want to... Stocks down last week's umpiring in general. The 50 metre for not even pointing at the scoreboard, just like frustratedly gesturing, and then it happened 12 other times throughout the weekend and wasn't paid. Horror weekend.
I think the dissent rule should be simplified to if a player abuses you verbally, calls you an idiot, calls you an F slur.
Yeah. If they complain about the decision, let them complain away. It's a professional sport where people are paid money to win games of football. They're going to get frustrated at things. If they attack the umpire personally, 50 metres. Also, I think we need a 25 metre
25 metres, yes. I also would like to just round off, and I think we did it last week or the week before, don't say the F slur.
Yeah, don't do that. I can't believe we've had to say it 2 weeks in a row, but don't do it.
Nope, don't do it.
And if we've learned anything, if you do it, you should probably admit to it rather than having someone else dob you in.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't... We're going to leave it on the same note 2 weeks in a row, but
that's fine.
I can't
That's
believe
important.
that we have to infantilise athletes and talk about it being a learning curve.
Just a boy.
They are grown men. This is a 20-year-old man. That's not he's just at the start of his career. Not if you were... I don't like to do the if it were any other workplace thing about football because it's clearly not. Like, I can't hip and shoulder blokes at my work without getting into at least a little bit of trouble.
You want to, though.
I do, yeah. I've been known to. But, like, in any other workplace, if you called someone a slur, you're done.
I don't think that's not even a first and final. I think you get walked.
Gone, and also you can't use them as a reference. Now you have a gap on your resume that you have to explain to your next employer.
Use the F slur.
Yeah, I called someone the F slur at work because I was a little bit frustrated at them. You can't, you know what I mean? And the main one is, you're using it. For it to be such a first, like, as soon as someone annoys you, for it to be thrown out that easily, shows such a low amount of self-control.
So many fun things you can say. And I mean, the one I wanted to use as my example, because we just watched The Usual Suspects, is cocksucker.
Cocksucker's
but
great.
Didn't Clarkson get done in for that?
He did get done. And I said, there's many people who can be cocksuckers. That is a all gender, all sexuality term. But that was allegedly he got done in for it. Because that's part of the problem. Again, we don't know what's been said, except for in this occasion we do. But like...
Yeah.
With Clarkson, we weren't sure. That was reported. But I think there's so many you can do. I saw someone the other day say that the best one they ever heard was someone said to another player that, this was in junior footy, the fact that you're shit at football is why your parents fight all the time. And that's one of the funniest ones I've ever heard.
Yeah.
One of my personal favourites, because I was an annoying defender, was that I called someone an unsuccessful personality hire a few times. Like, you can just call someone a dickhead or a pelican. Or you just tell them they're shit at football.
Pelican's good. Shout out Tim Fisher.
Shout out Tim. Tim loves Pelican. He has called Piers Morgan a pelican more times than I can remember insulting any one person on their own. But if someone's also, if you're having a go at someone after they've done something bad on a football field, just point out the dumb thing that they just did. Like, just reiterate.
Yeah.
Like, if someone misses a goal, you go, it's actually the big sticks. You just like the big ones. I can help
like
if you.
It would be easy. It's so easy to just be annoying.
Yeah,
It's my entire personality.
I ran on limited talent, so I was annoying. I had to be. But, like, It's a lost art, I think. My dad fucked your mum from Voss is maybe
That's
the
one
best
of the best.
one. But, like, you can't use that on everyone because not everyone's dad's fucked everyone's mum.
You can't even give everyone a slice of ham because...
Archer May would be the easiest guy. It's like, you're just all game, you're like, is Derby fucking your mum? How does
He
that
can't
work?
even walk upstairs.
Yeah, he can't tie his laces. How's that going? Anyway, sorry about
It
that.
means you know that your mum's on top, right?
Yeah, like, or Dermy's got some good painkillers, or like a sex swing.
Oh,
He might have a sex swing.
maybe he's on good old Dale's horny goat weed. Maybe it gets him up and about. This is a horrible end to the
We've just
podcast.
gone like really self-referential at the end, which I feel like we avoid doing quite well normally. We're going to leave it there because one, we've gone to an hour episode again, 2 weeks in a row, and two, Alastair is going to go and watch a movie.
I'm going to the movies.
But we hope you enjoy this weekend of football. It looks like a similar number of games should be good to last week. We've got all four state rivalry games, which is cool.
I'll give you my game of the round really quick.
We got the Pineapple Grapple, the Sydney Derby they call it.
It's the showdown. The showdown's going to be game of the round. Doesn't matter where they are.
The showdown is really interesting because they're always a coin toss, and Adelaide can't lose this one. Like if they want top two,
last game.
Ken Hinkley's last ever showdown, and Adelaide need to win it for top two. Huge,
That
huge
screams
game.
Jed McEntee goal after the siren.
Oh my god! Can you imagine Connor Rosie coming back with a broken hand to lead his team? I'm very.
It's
keen
showdown.
on the
Showdown's game of the round.
I think there's a few games.
Even if Adelaide end up winning by 50, funny.
Obviously, huge Sydney derby as well.
Yeah.
Huge Pineapple Grapple also. Not such a huge derby. Stripes versus Hoops, pretty boring.
Stripes versus Hoops. Yeah, that's what we're calling it.
Probably the least interesting Collingwood-Richmond game we've seen in a long time.
I think the
Saints D's could be interesting.
kangaroo's a native animal. Cats are an
That's-
introduced predator.
Yeah, did you see that?
No.
Emlyn Brees called it. They called it the RSPCA Cup.
Oh, okay. No, I did not see
Natives
that.
versus feral pests, and I called it portrait versus landscape.
Portrait versus landscape.
Um,
Dumb.
Anyway, we hope you enjoy this weekend's football. Unless you're Stephen May, who's going to be sitting at home for the next three.
Is Noel Bolter staying home this week?
I don't know. He played VFL
No.
last week, apparently.
12.
And so
12.
did the one I really liked him. Harry Armstrong is back in the VFL, and I hope he gets to play because he looked very
Good,
exciting.
yeah.
Jonty Fall was great last week. If they can get them both playing, hell yeah. Thank you for listening to The Back Pocket.
Bye, rambling over.
We'll see you next week.